What's up, guys? Welcome to Pop Culture Unboxing. On today's episode, we are of a special guest who is known as my dad. And with him, we're going to be discussing John Wick 3, Parabellum, as well as general movie theory and some stuff about my childhood along with my dad. It's a fun time. Don't expect too much rigidity in this. It is just a fun episode, so listen along, enjoy yourself, and have a good day.
Hello everybody and welcome to Pop Culture Unboxing, the show where we unbox the deadly, assassin-filled, action-packed side of pop culture. I'm Ryan.
I'm Matt.
And joining us today for the first time ever in PCU history, where we talk about him, you fans love him. Welcome the man, the myth, the legend that gave us the beautiful Matt Ross, Mr. Matt's dad. Let's give a round of applause everybody. Woo! Yeah!
He does have a name, Ryan.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Forget it, but he has a name.
I had a joke lined up, but thanks for ruining that.
All right, go on. I see there's some more script here.
My friends, it is May 23rd in the beautiful muggy city of Pittsburgh, and with all that out of the way, let's get right into the show.
Okay, there's his joke.
I haven't done that in a while.
Hi, what is your name again?
Don.
Well,
Don, that's right.
Or Dad.
Well, since
That's why I forgot. It's because I
So-
call him Dad.
in the show notes, that's why I said like we have like a random discussion. I was like, how would you like us to call you? What would you like us to say?
Just don't call me late for dinner.
I use that joke all the time.
All right, well, you're Matt's dad for now because that's the only way we've ever described you on the show when we talk about.
We can call him by his name,
All right.
Okay, whatever you guys want to do.
unless
that
he
sounds weird.
prefers.
That's gonna
Doesn't
sound
matter
weird.
to me.
I feel like it's gonna sound weird
That
having
would
you
be
call
weird.
him by his first name.
Maybe I won't.
Yeah, and I'm not wearing Depends, so it
Maybe I
doesn't
won't
matter.
refer to him by
The whole dad
anything.
thing.
Are you just not gonna refer to him?
No.
Just look at him and make the.
Hey,
make the-
you over there.
It's kind of scary how much you guys sound alike.
I
And
know.
even your laugh.
I'm dreading this editing
I was
this.
just gonna say, it's so bad because if I ever was listening to this through like the headset, I'd probably be losing my mind. Like, wait, which one's talking? I have to look and see whose mouth is
Yeah,
moving.
It's like reading a Hemingway novel. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I've tried reading some passages out of there. You have to go back like 2 pages.
You have
to
no
try to
idea who's
figure out,
talking, yeah.
and then you got to count. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1,
That's
2,
if
3.
That's if they're talking in order. I'm telling you.
Okay, this guy says that this way, so this must be him. Yeah, no fun.
I don't know what anyone's talking about right now. I've never read any of those things. I didn't read books as a kid. I didn't do
What a sad
that. I
childhood.
read comic books. That's it.
If
that counts. As
I used to
books.
read until, and I don't know if you remember this. I got in trouble for staying up too late reading one night, and you told me you made me stop reading certain kinds of books. I think it
Probably
was Animorphs.
No, it was Captain Underpants.
I think Animorphs was there too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, for
And
a
it was
second I
Captain
was like,
Underpants.
that's a really weird thing to punish you for learning, for reading.
I was not
Well,
reading.
No, it wasn't.
I was
no.
like, I was confused.
No, these books are crap.
I don't.
The movie wasn't that bad though.
What were they?
Uh,
What?
Captain Underpants.
I don't think I remember Captain Underpants.
You-
What was Captain?
yeah, there was a
Was
severe
that-
change in somebody's personality when they were reading Captain Underpants.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
See, I feel like we just shouldn't talk about anything else, but I got so many questions on what that means.
This is what you have when you have the guy that raised me. Yeah. Okay, wait. Let's go
I
down
guess
this
I could
rabbit
say
hole.
anything, right?
Yeah. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Remember, this was back when we were living on Dodd.
On
and
Dodd.
It was a street we lived on. Right?
Oh,
Come on, get with the program.
I didn't live in Pittsburgh my whole life. All right.
And I forget. I was being punished for something. Who knows? There were a lot of reasons for me to be punished back then. And you took away an instruction manual or something, a Bionicle thing, and I remember you walked out with it, and then came back in and took something else because I didn't look upset because you figured out somehow that I knew that I had 2 of those. And that you taking that away didn't affect me at all.
You sound like
I
the
don't
kind
know.
of dad.
You
I
don't
don't
remember.
He's not upset enough. I have to take more things from him.
I should word it like that, but you sleuthed out that I had something to hide, and
That's because parents know all. They already know.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Ryan, you had something you want to talk about.
I had multiple things to talk about today, but I figured we start because the reason like you're here is you came to watch a movie with us. Matt, do you want to go ahead and do the intro for this one?
No.
You want to talk about it? All right, so we went and saw John Wick 3, everybody. And what was the last movie we saw together? The three of us.
Glass.
Glass. Yeah.
yeah.
So did we all like that movie? I can't remember. I can't remember if I liked it.
Yeah,
or
you
not.
know how some movies, like you think about it. I think you were talking about this. Some movies, like anybody saw me use my elbow, Ryan.
Yeah.
But there's some movies you think about after the fact, and you go, "Yeah, you know what? I didn't hate that so much."
Yeah.
But then there's other movies like I don't know, Pacific Rim, where you
Get
just
off my back.
where you just go, you start thinking it through, and it's like it gets worse and worse and worse in your head.
Yes.
And I think for me, Glass was that way. It was kind of cool.
At first, and then it got worse and worse.
Yeah, as I was thinking it through, I guess just the lost opportunity.
I think that's how Happy Time Fun Murders went for me.
That
like
was
at
such a
first,
bad
like the
movie.
first
I didn't
5
wanna
minutes, I was
watch
like,
it.
"Oh, this might be funny," and then as time went by, I was like, "I'll never get that."
See,
time
but you
back.
didn't even have to leave the theater to dislike it as it went on.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like I was like, "This is stupid."
But Glass was entertaining, and I liked. I mean, were you with me when we watched
Yeah, Split.
Split? Yeah, and so there was potential there, and then I thought,
Well, coming out of Unbreakable and Split, like they're both great movies, and then Glass just kind of said, "Yeah, we like these great movies. These are cool people. They're all dead."
I just feel like Glass was meant to set up like a cinematic universe that never happened. They're like, "We're
Yeah.
gonna do what Marvel did," but we were too scared, so they couldn't push the button.
I mean,
but the beauty, I think, of the beauty of the first two was you weren't 100% sure.
Yeah.
Was he really indestructible? Was he really a multiple person? You know, were those people real? You never really knew at the end of
Yeah.
those two movies. But at the end of the third, you're like, eh.
well, to be fair,
It's whatever.
to be fair, the end of Split does show him like crawling on walls and pulling apart iron bars. So
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But anyway, Glass is not the movie we were talking
No.
about. I just,
Sorry.
that there's 6 minutes
have
and
we
we'll never
said
get
what we
back.
saw yet?
Yeah, I haven't even said what we saw yet. So, well, we went to see John Wick 3.
Yep.
So,
Parabellum.
yeah, so I didn't know what parabellum meant until they said it in the movie. I was like, oh, that's what
What is
it
the
means.
what is the phrase he said?
I don't remember.
Shows how much you like the film.
Civis pacem, parabellum is what he said. It means if you want peace, prepare for war or something like that.
Yeah.
But that is where like the people talk about like a 9mm parabellum. Is
Yeah.
prepare for war.
Huh.
Latin, right?
Yeah, so it was. I'm a huge fan of the first two. I've watched both of them a bunch of times. John Wick, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, I guess.
I don't even think they have titles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
This
know.
one had one for some reason.
And I really liked it, and I really was looking forward to some. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably not the greatest to do this right after the movie because, like I said, you want to think about it. But my first gut reaction was the action was again good.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked the fight scenes. I liked the variations on it, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
The knife scene. I mean, are we allowed to spoil?
Yeah,
It's been out a
not-
week.
yeah, it's been a week.
You know what? Yeah, if anyone was interested in it, they would have seen it by
Yeah.
now. Let's spoil it.
All right, so the knife scene, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Totally unrealistic.
Great opening,
you know?
too.
It was.
It was a great way to open the movie.
That's kind of, well, it's funny to see like unrealistic because that's kind of how I was looking to this movie. I didn't care about any of the actual story. I just wanted to see violence. Like the testosterone that was flowing through me every time I watched him punch somebody, it just was like, I just want to live this life. This is all I wanted in life. And then it gets
Yep.
the story like, well, why just slow it down? You got my beat going.
All right, but let me ask you this. This is the 54-year-old dad part of me coming in. Did you, and I was sitting next to Ryan, and Matt was sitting next to Ryan on the other side. And
I'm always the middle.
so
That's
I
what it
guess
is.
the Ryan sandwich. And that's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Back off of that
so
Did not want a 50-year-old man calling me a
that
Ryan
doesn't, yeah,
sandwich.
yeah, doesn't mean to me what it means to you guys.
It's okay.
Anyway,
Okay,
Continue
stop
on.
addressing it. It makes
but
it worse.
I heard you laughing, and I kind of laughed at some of the pretty creative kills.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
very creative way to kill people.
Does it ever hit you like, yikes?
I'm laughing.
I'm-
I thought the same thing during this movie.
What do you mean?
I did the same. I was doing the same thing. I was like, the one thing I think when I caught myself doing it was when they bring the shotguns out against the armored guys, and he blows the dude's head like to
Like, clean
pieces.
off, yeah.
And I chuckled at it. And I'm like, why am I laughing at this? Like this is brutal.
Well, I I thought it was funny. It just always surprised me. Like
It was
the movie
cool,
constantly
though.
surprised. Like I don't know if you're trying to get it that you think I'm a psychopath, but
No,
I'm
I was
not.
doing
Like,
it too. No,
yeah,
I was
but, like,
asking you because I was laughing too because
so-
I thought it was clever.
This is partially also because like I grew up with action movies. Like I've watched westerns and old time
No, I
westerns
mean,
with
we
my
watched
grandpa and stuff
actions
like
all the
that.
time, too.
So like I felt like, to me, just watching those fights, because the movie does this thing where like it starts with these fight scenes and then it just slows down to expedition that I don't care about. So then I fall asleep halfway through it, and then like out of nowhere a big explosion happens and someone's head's gone. And I'm just like,
So actually,
that was crazy.
That does kind of lead into something I want to mention. Did you notice that in all this, in I think the two scenes where they just go on wholesale killing, in both instances, all the bad guys faces were totally covered. There was no.
No, I didn't notice.
Did you notice that when they're fighting in the desert, they all have face wrappings on?
Oh yeah, okay.
And then at the end, they're all wearing full body armor with helmets. You
Yeah.
never once see their faces. The only faces you see are of the
well, that's because
the
they're like,
Asian guy in his clan that he has.
that's because it's just like a generic action film though at that point.
But then
Because,
you bring
like,
up the question of
it's
who are
just-
all these masked men?
They're just,
that are just
that's henchman number 1. That's henchman number 2. The one that got ripped off of a ceiling or off the roof by a dog. That's henchman number 55. He had a wife and kids, but we don't care because he's just henchman number 55.
yeah, his face was covered, which makes him
He's
not
working
human.
for the wrong company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it is. We all get it back.
that guy in Tony
we all
Stark.
have to work
or,
for.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, these people are weird.
But yeah, I thought the movie was, I don't know, maybe it's just weird to think it was funny. I just really enjoyed the action stuff, but when you got to like expedition, I didn't care.
Exposition is the word you're looking for.
Not expedition. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. I like this film. I really enjoyed it.
It was fun. It was like, I think you said it on our way out of the theater, Ryan, is that it's most fun if you turn your brain off.
Yeah. It's definitely
But
I kind of like the fact that I could find a movie to turn my brain off, because I hit into this point when we like started doing this podcast. I wanted to be real serious about reviewing movies. So like I put myself in a headspace where I was just so critical about movies that I watched. And then like when I saw that knife fight, that was like an instant, like my brain was like, what are you doing? Like, shut off. Like, we're done. We're not doing
Right.
this. Like,
Well, yeah, he can turn around and throw. Well, it's the same thing when he's shooting. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, have you ever shot, Ryan?
Yes.
Like, okay. So when you go to the range and you're only like what, 12 yards away from the target, and you're standing dead still, doing your breathing, doing all this, pulling, don't tug, all this
Yeah.
shooting stuff, and you still barely hit the target.
Mm-hmm.
But yet he's running away.
well, that's what he's a trained super spy. Though. He's trained. We're just normal people that just.
But now he does it with knives. That's my point. Now he can throw a knife.
what is he
you know.
not
I'm
trained
telling
in?
you guys,
And he knows all the languages.
He knows
If
like
I wouldn't have
100
quit
languages.
shooting when I was like 15, I could be John Wick now. When I was 12 years old, I shot a .22 rifle. I shot right down the mouth of a.
Is that your takeaway from the
at a
movie?
kid.
Is that I want to be
I
this
could
guy?
have been him one
Well,
day.
I can't. I know Spanish. I know Mandarin.
Prove it.
Okay, I will say a sentence in Mandarin. 我会说一点普通话.
All right, let's play the guessing game. All right, did you say you like tacos and bananas?
Nope.
Oh, dang.
I'm not going to guess.
All I said was I can speak a little Mandarin.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, this is what he
Languages
does.
are cool.
So here's the thing. I don't know if I've told you about this, right? We're going on another tangent. Here we go. Buckle up, boys.
All right, here we go.
I realized I get it from you, Dad, is we get these obsessions.
I thought you were going to say the same voice. I was like, yeah,
We
you
get
do.
the same. We got the same voice. Obsessed with something for 3 to 4 months at a time. Dive right into it, learn a bunch about it, and then on to the next thing.
And I don't want to necessarily be like that.
Oh, I don't either.
Because I was starting to learn Mandarin, and then it wasn't like something else. It was more like life, and then I kind of stopped. So I got to the point where I could say a couple minor phrases, but it's same thing in Spanish. Like if we were sitting here and you were talking in Spanish, I could pick up most of it, but I wouldn't be able to necessarily respond.
Oh, I thought like you were just saying like you guys would pick up stuff and you would learn it, and then
yeah,
that doesn't sound like a bad thing because that's kind of exciting.
but
Like,
not
'cause-
to stick with it. I
Yeah,
think that's
I
Matt's
see
point.
what you mean.
Because
not
I mean,
sticking with it.
for me, it's like I have all these different hobbies that I'll jump between, like miniature painting, voice acting, writing. I'll jump between them, so I never really get good at any of them. And I know you were into the plants for a while, like
At wild edibles.
Wild edibles.
Any questions about wild edibles?
Yes.
Wild-
What is a wild edible?
There are things that most people would call weeds. Like there are, I bet I could go in Matt's backyard, not right now because it's like
It is
really dark out, but I go out there and I probably could find 3 to 5 things that you could eat that everybody else would call weeds.
All right. So if we're ever like stuck in the woods,
Oh, yeah.
we know who to bring.
he's the guy to bring
I
along.
need him. I need you.
For what?
Well, if in case like you die, I have a best friend still. I can be like the Wilson thing. I can like carry you around.
I was
drag
gonna
you
go
around.
more with Swiss Army Man, but okay.
Swiss Army. I mean, that's kind of the same.
Did you
but
see that?
Could you shoot things out of like your throat and stuff?
Probably.
We should
But I'm not
try-
Daniel Radcliffe.
We should try that after.
as much as I wanted to be as a child.
We should try it after this.
No,
Let's see if we
absolutely
can
not.
Stick one of those like.
It's a weird
horns.
movie. You should see it.
Yeah, all right.
It's really weird. Anyway,
So do you, okay, you guys have the,
No, that's fine.
I
Continue.
think that was all just
No.
edited out.
Go-
Yeah.
no, it wasn't. I'll cut up some of it to make it tighter, but
No, but Ryan, you were saying earlier about kind of the difference between seriously looking at movies versus like a movie that's just total popcorn or whatever the expression is, you know, where you just go in and you're just like,
Yeah.
You know, Matt, you say that about Pacific Rim. I hate to bring it up again, but you just like big giant monsters and
I do.
machines and all
It's
that
fun.
kind of stuff.
Wow, he really hates Pacific Rim.
It's just such a bad movie. God.
this is seriously. When did that movie come out? 2015, 2014.
Yeah, I still-
It has been ongoing for
Yeah.
him and I.
It's just, oh, and the second one was
Wow,
even
your
worse.
dad holds grudges over the weirdest things.
Well, it's not a grudge. It's just a statement of fact. It's just a terrible movie.
I think at this point it's just
Son,
funny
I love
to
you,
bring,
but
it's
I
funny
cannot,
to bring it up.
I cannot agree with you.
But here's the thing, though, is like the reason why it's so bad is not that it is like there are bad movies that are just badly made. I mean, look up any Mystery Science Theater 3000, any of those movies that they
Yeah.
spoofed. They're just bad movies.
Yeah, which I think that show makes those movies good for me.
It makes it at least worth watching.
Yeah.
There's some, though, Matt and I have watched where we've stopped it in the middle because the movie was so bad it wasn't even worth watching to hear the jokes
Really?
on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have never really seen a movie.
Actually, we haven't done that much because you usually watch them with Jim Paul and Tommy.
Oh, see, I've
Well,
never.
you're not home anymore.
That makes it tough.
Yeah, you moved away, baby
You
bird.
moved out of the basement. You're not there anymore.
Are you proud of me for that?
I am very proud of you.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever found a movie that I I couldn't finish. There's never been a movie that I've watched bad movies, but there was never a time where I was like I can't finish this.
Oh, I just watched one that it was on Netflix.
Some
that
of the
I
later
just didn't even.
Transformers ones.
It was something with this young girl who supposedly had powers, and the trailer of it or whatever they do on Netflix looked kind of interesting. Oh my God, was it bad?
Oh,
It was so bad.
yeah. There are some movies like yeah. Here we go. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, where I felt like Ryan Johnson owed me 30 minutes of my life back, and I know Ryan, you have come around to my dad's point of view on it.
Well, what's that?
That there's about a point, maybe hour and a half into the
where
movie,
I can't watch it, where I have to fast forward through it.
the casino scene.
Oh yeah,
I have
yeah.
to fast. It's
Well, besides it being a totally pointless plot structure,
I
like
have to,
what?
it's so sad because like I'll be sitting like I went on a date recently and she
Oh, congratulations, Ryan.
Well,
How's it
It
feel?
goes to The Last Jedi, so shut up. Anyway, I went on a date recently and then like
Was he pretty?
Yeah, he was very pretty. And
Hey,
like we
not that
went.
there's anything wrong with that.
I didn't say there was.
Well, I got real awkward real quick. I don't know how to respond to this. Anyway, I took a date. Apparently, in Matt's world's a guy, but she had never seen the movie, and we watched it. Well,
Ryan.
I said, all right, sure, we can watch it, but I couldn't help it. Like I had the PlayStation controller sitting next to me, and like my hand just slowly slipped out. So the casino scene happened, and just by just reaction, I just grabbed start fast forward. It's like, what are you doing? I was like, you don't want to see this. And I just continued to go.
Was it her first time watching it?
Yeah.
And she's watching other Star
No,
Wars?
she has not seen that scene yet. She just let it go.
Oh.
She was just
So
like,
the movie's probably better in her mind.
yeah.
I want to be that person. Not for dating you, but just that the first and only time I assume she saw Last Jedi was without that scene in it.
But you got to cut out also that last couple minutes of the David Copperfield London street urchin reaching for his broom.
Oh, well, we don't even talk
Yeah,
about
you've
that.
gotta-
We didn't I think she didn't. Because I asked her about this, like, so what do you think is going to happen with the future of this stuff? And she's just like, I don't know. Like the woman's going to become the Jedi. I don't know. I was like, yeah, you took everything for this that I wanted you to take.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. You did it good. But
We went from John Wick to Star Wars.
Well,
pretty quick.
because the reason why some movies like that I put in the bad category is because there's so much money into them, there's so much effort put into them, and they're just bad. And you guys have talked about this before. Is there's so many aspects to a movie. I mean, you've got we see the finished product, but oh my gosh, look at the credits and the number of people that are involved in making this. But the key ones who get paid the most are the script writers, the directors, the editors. I mean, I know you guys find a lot of that in the movies is, wow, that was really badly edited. Well, a lot of people aren't going to know what you're talking about. I mean, you have to show them or talk to them about it.
I think it's because I just went back to school for a lot of things. I started doing like a lot of online classes for different things that I find interest. And one of the things is I'm trying to be a director and a writer and all that. And my professor in that class was like telling me, it's like, the director, all you are there for is to visualize the film for everyone else. Like, you are not like, you're not the writer. If you visualize a scene and you think, oh, well, this isn't going to work, then you have to tell the everyone else, this is what the scene's really going to look like. Now we have to make all the other scenes look match up with that. And I was like, well, that's interesting, because I always thought like the director, like he's the big guy, but really he's not. Without him, like his job can be replaced by anybody in the crew, where everybody else, like, he's just telling them what to do. He's just a supervisor, just sitting over
strategy.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was just interesting. It's like, well, there's a whole aspect to filmmaking now that I've discovered just by learning about it. And
there's never just
makes me want to do it more.
Yeah, because then, I mean, that's the big thing, and everyone wants to do it is to talk about specifically a bad movie and point at one specific person, like the director or an actor or the soundtrack guy. But no one person can contribute enough to a movie to make or break it. Maybe the actors can, but if they're throwing in enough to make it bad, the director's probably not up to snuff.
Right, like when you get somebody who's worked primarily on television, and I mean old television, not Netflix television, but and they have a certain way of photography. They have a certain way to set up shots and all that, and they whatever the reason is. And so you bring them on into a movie, and you can tell, and you're not going to like it. So if you're the director and you're not able to say, well, hold on, yeah, I like what you're doing here, but we got to get this kind of a wide shot and blah, blah, blah. But so you blame both of them, that if it's a bad movie, then it's both of them. And,
Yeah. It's just because like one little thing that you could say sucks is not on one person. It's usually like it's the whole crew. Like there was a screw, and like I think a lot of people look at it because they're watching the movie like, oh, well, this has got to be easy. But like some of those scenes, like you could look at in Avengers: Infinity War, you could look at Thanos and like how he walks around and what he says and how his voice done. But like that used to be just a nice like printed out on like a cardboard block attached to the actor's back. It's just a Thanos' smiling face.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up. Did you there's an article I read that was pretty long about Professor Hulk in Endgame and how much work it took to make that work on screen. Like ILM created a whole new way to capture motion and process it to handle that, to like get the facial expressions right. One interesting takeaway is that they said depending on his costume, his proportions changed, like the size of his muscles.
I believe that
to make it look on screen consistent.
Yeah. That's what it looked. You mean like just the actor itself?
No,
or you mean the actual
the model?
Yeah, you could kind of tell in one of the scenes where you see him with actually wearing the quantum suits. He does look like he's more slimmed up. So it looks like the suits are like compression clothes where they like compress your muscles and make you look.
But if you're not looking for it,
like if you're not looking for it,
that's what it is.
I noticed it because one of the Marvel Legends toys that's coming out, we're getting like a Hulk Build-A-Figure, and he looks so much bigger.
Yeah,
like than he should, and I realized like, oh, that's because all he's wearing is just shorts.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that it's just how many people are involved in it. even if they know. Let's take one example: Game of Thrones, the Starbucks cup. You know what? That's an editor or someone might have noticed that in the fourth episode of Game of Thrones this past season. They're having a feast because they just won the battle, and there's one shot where there's a Starbucks cup sitting on a table.
I mean, if you don't know it's there, you don't notice it.
Why did they just CG it out?
They did after the fact.
They did.
After the episode released, a couple days later, they re-uploaded it without that in there. But that's the thing is I'm sure some editor somewhere noticed it.
I mean, they did it.
But by that time, it was too late.
In the whole season, they did it twice. At one point, it was a Starbucks cup. The other one, I think it was a water bottle, was hidden underneath, was like right next to someone's foot in like one of the later episodes. And like you don't notice it, but they point, I saw the photo of it. When you see it, you're like, I went back and watched the episode. It's so glaring because you can see it. You know
what were they smudged it out or something? Or
no, I mean like you can see they didn't smudge it out.
They didn't.
This is before they smudged that one out. This was the last episode. There's a water bottle sitting.
That's funny.
Is it when they're in the dragon pits?
No, it's when they're all sitting around the table at the ending scene.
Oh, really?
Braun, his foot underneath. I think it's on his side. Underneath his foot is sitting a water bottle. I think it's an Aquafina bottle.
Why even have continuity director?
All right.
To be fair,
but it is not as easy as it sounds.
Right.
Like,
74 hours of Game of Thrones and only 2. I think there was a truck in the background of a scene once.
Well,
so 3 errors in 74.
Game of Thrones, like as a whole, has had a lot of problems with it though. Because at one point,
specifically that though.
What? Yeah, it has.
They've had
continuity.
What is the term? Anna. I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
What I was gonna say is like in Game of Thrones, there's many issues. At one point, Cersei's sister or brother, Jaime. At one point, they're all in one of the seasons. He's standing in a row and he's holding the water bottle in his hand. Like you can see it.
No. That wasn't in the episode. That was just a photo. That was just a shot from unused footage.
Okay,
like a publicity shot.
Okay, then there's that.
They didn't make it in the episode.
In one of the other seasons too, Daenerys' wig changes from literally a cut scene. So like it literally cuts to a new camera angle and her wig's different. Like the design, like it's just amazing. Because what happened was they said cut. She went and sat down, took her wig off, had to put it back on, ended up grabbing the wrong one. But there is someone supposed to be able to see that. Like that's not right.
Well, because she might not film the same thing in the same day. She might film another shot that's supposed to be taking place in that moment 2 days later.
But
and that's why you have a continuity director.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it's not an easy job because you have to be like so onto it.
The term is
up to date.
Anachronism. Anachronism is something that is a thing belonging or appropriate to a period other than in which it exists, especially a thing that is conspicuously old-fashioned. Conspicuously.
My twin brother was a member of the Society for Creative Anachronisms, and they were the ones that dressed up like knights and damsels.
So they were LARPing.
Oh, that's cool.
I remember that. What was that? That was Uncle Ron, right?
Yeah.
And
you have a twin?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You already look like his twin. I don't know what
his twin doesn't look anything like him. His older brother looks more like him than his twin does. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So David should be listening to this, by the way, because I told him.
Did he?
Yeah, I sent him the link to the pop culture unboxing.
Thanks for advertising for us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Thanks, Matt's family, for being our number one fans.
Way back when we were down at Uncle Ron's for whatever reason. He weren't we out on the street or something with him and a bunch of his friends? And they had their swords. I remember I held one and it was so heavy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean,
it's kind of fun to swing a sword around.
But I'm trained. Yeah. So like when I was a kid, I learned how to fight. I was a kendo student, so I learned how to fight with a samurai sword. So like I get it because I was like, oh, it's cool.
Cutting the
bamboo. It makes you feel stronger and more powerful. But no, like. All right, it's 28 minutes. We've been talking. we went completely against the script.
No, hang on. I'm fine with it because we kind of went from talking about John Wick and it kind of segued into us talking about movies in general.
What I'm trying to get to is, can we go back to what our first question I asked? What did you think of John Wick?
Did we not answer that?
We never answered if anyone really liked it.
Well, I kind of did.
Yeah, I just felt like nothing changed. I was telling you guys this earlier. It ended in the same spot that the second one ended. Nothing. It didn't progress any of the story really.
Yeah. But the dog lived.
The dog did live. The dog looked like your old dog, Ryan.
It did. It did look like Gidget. It was making me cry a couple times.
All right, so okay, we have a dog. It's not mine. It's one of my kids.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not. But
Does it live in your house?
one of the issues I have with the John Wick thing is this guy gets a dog, and literally 2 minutes later, the dog is perfectly trained, doesn't poop on the floor, doesn't ever bark at people walking by, and these are people walking by with guns, and doesn't bark, doesn't do anything. They're perfectly trained.
You've got a point there. I didn't even think
he
of
can
that.
say to his big dog that he literally got that day, sit, and the dog sits and
That's
stares
'cause it
up at the
knows better.
concierge.
It knows better. It's like, oh, this guy. I've seen him.
So
do
wait,
weird
okay,
things.
let's talk about this. The stables.
That was yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I don't like, okay, the stable
I
scene.
thought it was just a creative way to kill, but I was like, all right, this is how
Okay. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot about that too.
But the stables is my, okay, I've decided now. The stables is my casino scene.
yep.
I would have to fast forward through it.
Would you?
It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
I
And
believe
the
it.
CG wasn't even good.
No.
So if you didn't see
Wait,
it,
were
and have
those horses fake? Were they
when they were
this?
kicking,
The
yeah.
kicks were.
Oh, well, the kicks
Um,
definitely were. I thought you
So
meant the horses all.
no, the horses were real.
I was like, holy crap! Like, my brain really
but they
did
made it.
turn off.
But they made it so painfully the horses being there made it so painfully obvious that the gunshots were fake.
They
Because
didn't even flinch.
the horses didn't
Right.
flinch. They have the one like rearing up in the background. There's
Yeah.
and for people who don't plan on watching the movie and are still listening, there's a scene where he's running through New York and he ends up in a stable and he fights a couple of guys and what he does is he does it twice with two different horses. Where he walks up, puts his hand right above their front shoulder blades, and then pats their side, and they kick their back feet.
Yeah, I love it
and they
because
kick
it looked like. I don't know if you saw it the way I saw it. It looked like he would be like he was treating him like a gun. He was cocking the gun,
Yeah.
hitting it in the back, and then bam! It looks
Yeah.
so funny.
All
to
right,
me.
so let's list this. So he knows 20 languages fluently.
Yep, give or take.
He can shoot a gun backwards while running away and rolling on the ground. Okay, a la Lethal Weapon. This is probably previous to you guys, but
He can take
Mel Gibson did that.
he could take a wound to one of his arteries and just
Oh,
sew it back up.
Sew it
no problem.
superficially.
Yeah, by himself with one arm.
And this is all 1 week. He's already been like how many times stabbed in his gut?
Yep.
Shot, right?
He got shot a couple times,
Yeah,
I think, in the first ones.
Now he has dogs that are automatically trained when he gets them as puppies out of a box, and he can cock a horse and make it kick on command.
See?
The back.
There it is.
Don't forget he could take 5 to 6 gunshot wounds and then fall off a 10-story building.
Oh, like worse than
that's-
Spider-Man did.
Well, that's the
Like
thing
his
is-
back broke
Yeah.
twice during that
Oh, yeah.
fall.
Well, yeah. So his back should have been broken, but at least I can say for the bullets, it was very clear because they did it earlier in the scene too. For some reason they didn't never said it.
If you didn't see,
But his
if you didn't
suit
see
was
chapter
bulletproof.
2, right? If you didn't see chapter 2, you'd have no idea, right?
I don't remember.
Chapter 2 was when he goes to the tailor. He goes to the tailor.
Yeah.
He goes to the sommelier who has all the guns. You know, he
Yeah,
does
he
all
gets
that.
a bulletproof.
Oh,
he gets
yeah.
a bulletproof suit. But that's what I saw the new one. I was like, I saw the gold. There's gold trimming inside of it, and I was like, oh, so now he's just wearing a gold vest.
Oh,
Like,
think about this. Wait, yeah, you bring up a good point. That suit is the one he got in the desert.
yeah. That
It's
one's
probably like a
more
super-
bulletproof. I told you that's the
So,
vibranium.
and I noticed that too, like with the dudes. They're not wearing that much body armor, and yet they're completely impervious to bullets. They don't even flinch.
Yeah.
Only when it was convenient. If you
Exactly. Yeah.
Only
that's
when it was
exactly it.
convenient.
Yeah. Only when the plot said.
Can you
they
say
had to.
stormtrooper?
Oh, jeez.
Then I mean, and then Lance Reddick's character, whose name I can't remember, is him. He's standing there with a bunch of allies, and they immediately get gunned down. But he's standing in the middle of the room and manages.
And
to
no
not
one
get shot.
shoots at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plot armor, man.
Yeah.
We need it to survive. We need it for the war. That's apparently never going to happen.
Parabellum.
that we were supposed to get this movie.
I like how they tricked me into thinking like, oh yeah, John Wick's gonna take down the whole organization. Like, oh yeah, fuck that. Like,
yeah.
Maybe take down a high chair instead of a
couldn't
high
believe
table.
it.
Yeah. He could have.
oh,
They start one chair at a time.
That's what's gonna happen. It's
I
gotta
just-
be.
that movie, like, and the bad thing is, as you were listing all those off, I could feel like my rating for it just continues to go down. I was like, oh man, you're making some serious
But
points
okay,
here.
but I will say this though. I really like Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah.
I think he's from what I've read, he's supposedly a super nice guy.
Oh yeah, donates a ton of money.
Yeah.
Supposedly, like Whenever he
If you
works,
saw the
I forget
one
what it-
photo, he could turn water into wine. You saw the one photo that someone was posting around. There's a kid in one like the photos of him. There's a kid like talking to him, but you notice he has a wine glass with wine in it, but the bottle next to it is just water. So everyone's just like, "All right, someone's got to explain something here."
No, I forget what movie it was. I want to say it was when he finished filming the Matrix movies. He bought one of the crews for the movie, bought every single one of them a Harley because
Nice.
he made so
Wow,
much
that's
money
expensive.
Yeah, I think it's cost him like $30 million.
And speaking of that, if you haven't seen it, I recommend 47 Ronin. That's pretty cool.
Is it good?
movie.
47 Ronin is really good.
Pretty cool movie,
I can
yeah.
vouch for that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a really
it ends pretty depressing,
Yeah.
but pretty cool movie.
Which is how this one should have ended. Was
Yeah.
depressing.
That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be just like not John Wick, the other one, where the Ronin.
47 Ronin.
Yeah, I thought that when we were watching, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like the government versus like the samurai." I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be the Last Samurai, but not whitewashed." I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
And
It was
wasn't.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was still good, but
Yeah.
While we're on that topic, what did you guys think of the Great Wall?
Okay, speaking of movies like you think about later, like I said about,
yeah. What is the Great Wall?
what's that movie that...
I'm not feeding into this.
What's
You
that
should have
movie
seen
with the
for
robots?
our audio for our audio listeners. There was a standoff there.
So, but
There's a lot of tension starting to grow in this room, and I like it.
I don't hate it. I thought I don't hate it. I thought it was I
Yeah?
thought it was interestingly done. I thought that there were some really, really cool scenes in it. What they
Yeah.
did, like the kind of goofy but kind of cool, like the girls jumping off the wall, with the tethered and all
What
that.
movie are we talking
The Great
about?
Wall.
The Great
Matt,
Wall.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it because I was like, "This is a whitewash movie. I don't want to see this."
It may. From what I
It
understand,
really
it makes
wasn't
sense.
because they
Oh,
were
it wasn't?
No, because they weren't playing Chinese characters. They were actually like
Just American characters that just happened to be there.
kind of no, they were there because they were sort of
They were
soldiers of
mercenaries.
fortune and
Oh,
mercenaries
okay.
and all
well,
that.
that's fine.
Yeah.
When I first
No,
saw
there
that
are
movie, I
plenty
was
of
like, I
Chinese
don't want to
actors
be
in
a
that
part of
film.
this.
Oh yeah, the majority of the actors are Chinese and they're
That's
really
what-
good.
When I saw trailers for that movie, I was like, I don't want to see this because I don't want to be a part of this.
Well, that came hot off the heels of the Ghost in the Shell thing, didn't it?
That was terrible.
The whole
I didn't
thing with
Yeah, I like
casting
that.
Scarlett
I like
Johansson in
Ghost
that
in the
role.
Shell.
No,
But I'm an anime guy, so like I love like anime.
well, the only character I
that
actually
movie was
liked,
like, I'm fine.
believe it or not, I wasn't a huge fan of Scarlett's character, but I really did like that the big hulking cop because I knew enough of the anime
okay.
background that's with the little
Yeah.
the what are they? They look like
I think the
gun
way,
barrel eyes.
Yeah, that's the way I
Yeah,
just, like
yeah.
we describes like he has just gun barrels for eyes.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a good show.
Yeah, so I kind of liked his character.
Yeah.
I liked that, but yeah, I don't know. For the most part, I mean, I actually like Ready Player One. And
That movie's
kind of got
fantastic.
I liked
love
it
that
too.
movie.
The CG left something to be desired for me, unless it was a stylistic choice.
I think it was.
I just
Was
got,
it?
I just
Yeah.
got that movie for 4K, my 4K Blu-ray player, and
I don't think it'll help. I think you need to go frame by frame.
God, does that film look?
I think
good.
I would. I think I
That
would like to
film
see that in
is
3D. I think that
beautiful.
would be pretty cool.
It
in
probably
3D.
would be.
Yeah, that's one of the.
I think you and I
few
share
films.
a favorite 3D film, Doctor Strange.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was neat.
Oh,
Did you
guys
see
see
Doctor
it?
Strange in
I didn't
3D?
see it in 3D.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to, I highly
it.
recommend it.
Oh yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Especially when
I already thought that movie looked great.
when
so
when
that's-
the ancient one is there fighting and all the buildings are twisting and turning.
Oh, yeah.
3D. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, him on his spirit journey or whatever
Yeah.
is really
Oh,
cool.
I bet that would have been cool. Yeah, I guess-
Dormammu, I think that scene's really cool in 3D.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll have to. If I ever get a chance, I don't think I ever will though, because unless it like shows up in a 3D theater. For
Yeah.
It's hard to do on TV. Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out it was a kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I mean, see, I don't like 3D though. That's like.
no one really does.
That's why I like when everyone talks about Avatar making so much money. I'm like, the only reason Avatar made money is because tickets to the movie were like $30 because it was all 3D showings. Is all I ever saw.
I never
That's
saw
cool.
it.
That's what it was. Like it was always because when it came out, that was when 3D was starting to show up in theaters.
I think it was the first
Yeah,
3D film.
I think it
wasn't
was too.
Yeah, and they were like, "Yeah, see it in 3D." You see it in 3D, and it's like this movie already sucks. Like,
Why see that when you could see Spy Kids 3D?
that movie was great. I
Ooh.
don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says. Spy Kids
That
3D
movie
was, great.
was so.
Was that when Ricardo was in the wheelchair? Was that 3 or 4?
Um,
Ricardo
that would've been
Montalban.
4.
I think it was like one of his last roles ever.
Yeah, that was 4.
and he was
No,
actually
I think
in
it
a
was
wheelchair.
in 3 because he's
Yeah,
in the
'cause
wheelchair
3D
in the mech, right? Remember?
Yeah.
At
No,
the end?
that was 4 because 3D's the one where they go into like the cyberspace.
Yeah, and then the cyberspace world comes out at the end.
Yeah.
And they're
I think
in the
it is
mech
Yeah,
at the end.
Ricardo.
but he's not in a wheelchair.
But he's
'cause
the grandfather.
He has it because he comes out in a suit. Like he's
in
wearing
the
a suit.
game.
No, actually, in the real world, they show him in his like suit. I just watched the movie recently, so I know that.
Yeah, but he's in it. The act. I mean,
If
at the
he
time,
might
he
be-
was in a wheelchair. He's dead.
Oh,
now, but
okay,
he was in
well,
a wheelchair.
yeah.
At the
He
time.
might have. I just didn't notice that part. When
Yeah.
I remember because he first when he shows up when everything goes out into the real world, he shows up in one of the like game suits.
Because they
Speaking of that, since Matt brought up Spy Kids, we watched Emma last night with Gwyneth Paltrow. She played Emma. It's a Jane Austen, I think, novel.
the one mom keeps raving about.
Yeah, and so we watched that, and one of the main characters in it is the bad guy from the first Spy Kids, the guy who says the
The
kids
thumbs.
yeah, the kids TV show. Yeah,
I've referenced the thumbs before, and nobody ever gets that reference.
I love the thumbs.
What was his name? The villain in that.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
It was something funny.
Floop.
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 That was it.
It was Floop.
Yeah. What's the thing they're looking for? The third brain.
yeah, the third brain.
Oh, that's right. They're looking for There's 3 mini brains.
I remember I
That's
thought
right.
that sub they're in was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
I remember like
The something guppy or
Yeah, looking back. Yeah.
I remember when he
Yeah.
had when the kid had like the glasses that just like zoomed in like just with. I
think that was the second
just
one.
These CGI parts that just
When
appeared.
he had those little specs that he put up on the wall that were like perfect cameras.
but they
you know?
changed size throughout.
Suspension of
that
disbelief.
movie was
Yeah.
terrible. That was
Their
It was terrible.
their grandpa or their uncle is canonically Machete.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
wait, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never
that's
seen
great.
that. I know that.
I didn't either, but yeah,
That was actually in the list. Remember, I told you the list of the
Well, that
movies
changes
that
the
I
Spy
saw.
Kids universe completely.
it does.
That if you like John Wick, it was a list of movies. Machete was one of the
I
top
believe it.
ones. Yeah,
That's what's his name? Been in everything.
yeah.
He's. I don't remember. I don't. know.
Danny Trejo.
Is that what it is?
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. His character in Machete is the same one in Spy Kids. They're
Huh.
both Rodriguez films. So,
Yeah.
by Dimension something or other. But yeah,
Wow.
fun fact there.
I was gonna, he's been in literally. He shows up in movies you don't even
yeah.
expect him to show up in, like
He
a
was in
lunch
Breaking
lady.
Bad.
So, what do you guys think of the Expendables franchise?
I saw the first one or two.
I think
It was
I think
I only saw the first one. I think. I don't think I ever saw
Expendables.
that.
They were,
The second one was actually got
they
pretty
were
good
okay.
reviews.
Yeah.
They were pretty okay. They kept adding people to the team every sequel, but instead of
Yeah.
adding one person, they'd add like a whole 8 new people.
Action
It's like,
guys who
how
don't have
many
their own
action-
movie at the time.
It's like, you just sit there, it's like, how many of these action celebrities are still alive?
Yeah.
Actually, we should. Speaking of
It's like
action
Anchor-
movies,
It's like the
we,
Anchorman scenes.
we should talk about a couple trailers. One trailer we watched. Another one. Did you guys watch the trailer for the new Terminator movie?
I don't care.
Terminator Dark
don't-
Fate actually looks pretty good.
I don't
I'll be
care
honest.
anymore.
I didn't hate Genesis. I didn't really hate it. I thought that they did a good job for what they were trying to do, like
Yeah.
trying to set up this new, basically a reboot kind of.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It
all
wasn't
right.
Salvation.
I got bored.
Actually, thinking
No,
back, I
which
don't know if I
one's
minded
Salvation?
with Sam. I can't think. Christian Bale was in it.
Oh gosh.
And then Sam Worthington, I think, is his name. Played the Terminator. It had that
Gosh, I
shot
don't
you liked of the helicopter going down at the beginning,
Are you talking
where
about
it shows the whole helicopter.
Oh
crash.
yeah. We were talking about that.
Sam
for the-
Worthington.
Oh, I don't think I understand.
Look him up. You'd
I
recognize
know who
him.
Sam Worthington is. He's in Avatar.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
He's
dude.
in Avatar. But,
Terminator Salvation. It had
I'm thinking of Genesis. still.
what's his name is Kyle Reese, Anton Yelchin.
Oh,
Yeah,
I gotta watch that again.
I don't remember. I don't remember disliking it. I think it just was really, and then it had de-aged Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
and I don't remember it being terrible. But this new one looks good. It's actually what's her name, Linda Hamilton, coming back as Sarah Connor.
Oh, really?
Schwarzenegger is too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's reprising his role, and then
I'm.
yeah. the
Why do
trailer
you
looks
say
good.
you don't care?
I got bored with it. I got bored. The last 2 movies, Salvation and one's
Genesis?
Yeah, Genesis and Salvation. Salvation was the one with Christian Bale in it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I was all for it until halfway through. I got bored, and then Genesis made me really mad because what got me excited for it was this is also the time I was watching Doctor Who, and Matt Smith, who played the Doctor, the 11th Doctor, he moved on to do other movies, and this was one of the movies he did.
Who was he in that?
He was supposed to be like the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was being like, they were saying like he's this mystery character, nobody knows who he is, but he only gets like 5 minutes of screen time as the bad guy right in the beginning. When the character in
Was
Genesis,
he the rich guy? Was he the one that
goes back? No, he literally becomes I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, I don't
In the
remember.
beginning when he goes back, the one guy goes back in
Yeah.
time, and you see that guy killing everybody.
that's him.
That's Matt Smith, and that's why I'm like, oh my, he's gonna be the jelly dude, as I call him. Like he's gonna be all these cool kids, and it was just like
Quicksilver? Yeah.
yeah, and like you saw, and when I saw that, I got.
Well, that's not the first time they've done that to a Doctor Who actor either. Gave him a boring villain. Thor 2: The Dark World. Malekith was played by the Ninth Doctor. Ninth Doctor.
The Ninth Doctor, yeah.
Who was he? He was the ice giant?
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah.
No, the elf, the dark elf.
Or the dark
Dude.
elf. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't even like Doctor Who, though. He didn't.
No, he didn't.
He hated
Not one
that
bit.
show.
Oh, really?
He hated
Yeah.
being on that show. That's
I
why he only
honestly can
lasted
say I've
one
never
season.
seen, just like Game of Thrones, never seen any Doctor Who, never seen any Game of Thrones.
I mean, you're not missing out.
Doctor Who. You remember I used to watch it a lot.
I tried to watch it. I tried to watch something, and when there was something came on the screen and it was just so incredibly bad that I was like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's the thing. Like Doctor Who's, I loved it, but it was more one of those shows where I was a kid, so I was like, it just looked cool to me.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's only so many ways you can say this guy with his magic space wand is going to fix everything without anyone getting
Sonic
hurt.
screwdriver.
Yeah, it's
Well, but it's same thing with Terminator series though. Is sort of like what we were saying earlier about John Wick. Is you get to the end and you kind of want some kind of closure on something, and it always ends up, like a forced. We're going to have a sequel. We're going to have a reboot. We're going to have a. Yeah.
And the thing that really
That's
drove
what
me
I'm
away.
getting kind of tired of with movies nowadays. Is I'm
Yeah.
really tired of every movie ending with like sequels.
Well,
Like,
Matt
oh,
said
here's
that.
another
Matt and I were talking about it, and he said he was really hoping that Parabellum was going to be, John Wick was going to get killed,
Yeah,
or it
I
was just going to
agree.
end,
I
and
agreed.
it would have been like a perfect trilogy. Just leave it. you
Yeah,
know?
that's
Yep.
I agree. I would have
Kind of
loved to
show
see
maybe
it
the
be
message is you can't escape it if you're in this kind of life like that.
right. And but
I
they, I think
even
they.
thought when he fell off the roof, I thought, oh wow, this could be it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a really interesting. That's
That would've
that's
been
a
great.
ballsy way to end your
But I
trilogy.
think, what they could have done was the first one totally personal. You killed my dog.
Yeah.
It's just a little dog. See, I didn't.
Yeah.
Which I like.
No
That's
need for
the
a
joke
beep.
of pretty much the third was just
Right,
like,
right.
everyone just makes the jokes like, yeah,
But
he
then
did
the-
this because of a dog.
But then the second one ends up being okay. I was there because of this. I've got to pay back, and then the whole thing that happened in the second one. And so the third one, you could then bring. So you went from a personal thing to kind of a clan thing. Then you go to the kingdom thing with the high table and end it.
yeah,
Yep.
because that's how you build.
know?
That's a really good way to build the character too.
But they
Yep.
didn't.
Yeah,
So-
they
That's
couldn't
what-
bring themselves to do it.
That's what I was just like. When I saw John Wick 1, I was like, okay. Does anyone? No, everyone's like, this is awesome. I was like, yeah, this dude's a freaking psychopath.
Yeah.
It's one dog. Like,
Right.
anytime if my dog would die, yeah, I'd be pretty upset. But I'm not going to go around and just massacre
Right.
billions of people.
And I guess you're
Yeah.
supposed to, you're supposed to think, oh, well, he represented the fact that the wife gave the dog. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I
but
understand.
still,
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why I like in the third one. They're all like trying to basically say, like, he did this because of a dog. Like, hang on,
puppy.
do we want to mess with this dude?
And it was a kid that did it.
yeah,
But-
yeah, just right.
and actually, the kid was I don't know if you've seen it in a while. Theon Greyjoy.
Really?
Alfie Allen played him. Yeah.
all right. So real quick, I know you guys are wrapping up on this, and we
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
totally
realized
went
it's
off.
48 minutes.
Totally went off
This
script.
episode of Bunch of Stuff turned out to be a John Wick and movie episode. So
Yeah, mostly
I like
movies.
it.
talking
So about
movies.
ending a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen The Machine?
I've seen The Machinist.
No, The Machine.
I didn't see The
Pretty
Machine.
cool movie. Sort of the whole AI robot kind of thing, and it just ends. It's a really cool Ex Machina. I pray to God they don't try to make anything else with that, because I thought that movie, it had its flaws, but I thought it was really well done for one movie.
Yeah.
You know? So I agree with what Ryan said about it feels like all of these movies are like, let's set up for the sequel, let's set up for the merchandise, let's set up for,
that's John Wick. Being a toy collector, John Wick now has, because this third one's coming out, there are so many toys releasing of John Wick right now.
Oh, really?
And there's one of the most expensive ones, the 1/12 Mezco collectibles. They're coming out. They're photorealistic. They look exactly the character.
That's creepy.
They're like $100, but it comes with his dog and every weapon in this movie, except the horses, which I'm a little mad about.
Just go buy a Barbie figure.
But like the whole time I'm sitting there watching this film, it's like I'm starting to see what this film's becoming, just like everything else. It's like, oh, we can make toys out of this, because for some reason adults just want to buy toys now. I don't know what happened to us as adults. We're like, toys are mine. Screw the kids.
Say,
it's mine.
When you become a man, put away your childish things, and all the millennials said, nope. No, I want
I
both.
definitely did. If you saw my bedroom,
I said the same thing.
Yeah, from like that part all the way around is just all Marvel Legends toys. Yeah, at least he has a fan. Like he has something he loves.
Pretty surprising the responses you're hearing about Godzilla.
Really? What are you hearing?
I heard that it's really good.
Oh, really good.
Oh,
yes.
Don't do this to me.
I kind of knew that because a couple months back, it was in the news that Toho Pictures, as soon as they screened it, said we'll make more. Yeah. Which is a really good.
Supposedly,
was a really good sign.
I read a couple little.
I'm excited.
I'm pumped to see it.
I mean, he knows. I love those kaiju movies. Like I've always loved Godzilla.
It's very clear.
Do you like kaiju?
I do. Except for one. There's one.
Everything always comes back to Pacific Rim with you
really
too.
I need to make this clear. I love Pacific Rim 1. It is a fun movie. I pretend Pacific Rim 2 doesn't exist.
Can you two
It is
just
such
like
a bad
shake
movie.
and agree that to disagree, please? I don't like this like war I keep watching between you two. I feel like it's eventually going to escalate.
Right. It's kind of an in joke at this point.
I understand
us
that, but
better
there's
people.
actual robots. Just take the robots and use them to fight each other. Take your anger out with action
figures. We
figures.
could do Rock'em Sock'em Robot. We'll get a
Do what I do with my action figures. Take your frustrations out, but have them smack into each other.
Ryan, I think you need to talk to someone.
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm all right.
Whatever you say.
That's I don't know. I sent Matt a picture for one of the Captain Americas I have. I completely cut his shield to make him look like the more Endgame version. Because I was like, I have like 3 or 4 Captain Americas. I might as well do something with this one. So
there you go.
How about that? Now they're saying that the whole Captain America time thing, that in Winter Soldier, I think it was, when he goes to see dying girlfriend.
Peggy, yeah.
Dying Peggy.
Yeah.
That's his family. That was her family.
Oh.
That's not good, though.
That's actually kind of weird.
Doesn't it show a different husband? Or?
Because if you think about it, in Civil War, what did he kissed his niece? Wouldn't that be like his niece?
Yeah. That'd be his. See?
Yeah,
Aunt Peggy. Yeah, because it was Aunt Peggy. So yeah.
But it wasn't the same Captain America.
This is why you don't think about the timeline.
Right. You can say it's not the same Captain America because the other one has already lived. So
so Prime Captain America kissed what's okay? Wait. I want to think about this. So Prime Captain America, the one who goes through all of the movies, gets to the end of Endgame, goes back in time, lives with Peggy. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That one. Exists, but then so does the other one who was frozen in ice at the time. So
okay, my question is then where was the old one all along?
Okay, yeah, that's the question. So
I
have
my question.
For this so he goes back in time. So in the Prime universe, before Endgame happened, whose daughter was she at that point? She then became his daughter.
But the kiss was still there.
Wait, what do you mean?
It was, but whose daughter was she the first time he kissed her?
She wasn't.
She'd have to have been his.
No, she wouldn't have been because she's not her daughter, is she?
No, not daughter, but niece.
She's her niece.
Still niece.
Right.
Oh, okay. I see.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's
right.
It's still
could
uncle
be
kissing
him.
cousin.
Well, yeah.
It's uncle and niece. Like,
yeah.
Listen, you can go online. You can find plenty of it. And it's still wrong.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But what you said, what did he do about being in
Where
the
was
ice?
he? Right.
I could answer that. He was still in the ice. So what happened? What everyone is basically accepting is the fact that Captain America saw everything happen and just did nothing about it. So that's where there's some really good memes coming out of it, like the tragedies in the America that have happened, all like the shootings and stuff like that. People are just like, oh, this is all nice, and like they're saying, oh, I want to send my kid to this school, and people are just like, and then it's like Captain Steve Rogers like, don't go there. Like, it's funny memes like that. The one I saw was really good. It was like they were watching TV and Bill Cosby was on the TV, and it said that like Agent Carter says like, oh, this Cosby guy, he's so funny. How can you not laugh? And then it just goes to a picture of Steve just looking down like,
yeah,
you have no idea.
It's again the problem that Endgame has is if you start looking into it too much.
Yeah,
and the problem is that Joe and
also he let his friend be like a monster pretty much. Let his friend he didn't help his friend.
Right.
What are their names? Joe and what? Russo?
Anthony Russo.
Joe and Anthony Russo. The problem is the movie, you can't think about it too much, but they keep going on the press junket and making people think about it too much.
So speaking of timelines, if you have the time, it's not. I haven't seen the second season, but the first season of the OA doesn't suck.
Okay.
I don't like that. See, when you tell me things like
that, it's pretty interesting because the whole premise of it is this girl who she basically disappears for like 15 years. And when she comes back, you slowly find out that she had been kept in you think, okay, it's interesting because you're never really sure. But her whole thing is feeling like they think that they can cross that multiple timeline barrier. And so the movie ends, the series ends, the first season ends with something happening, and you're pretty sure there's no such thing as what she was talking about. She's just a loony bin. But now there's a second season, and when on the trailer on Netflix, she's laying in a hospital bed, and the nurse says to her, "Do you know your name?" And she says her name, and she says, "Do you know what day it is?" And she says the date, and she said, "Do you know who the president is?" And she says, "Obama." And the nurse goes, "Who?"
Wait. Whoa.
you gotta watch it.
Excuse me?
So
isn't that cool?
We'll leave you with that tease, and also the other one of if something similar, I think, is Man in the High Castle,
which I've never seen, but I've heard it's really good.
I've heard great things.
I think it's pretty good. I've only watched a couple episodes.
And
so
you haven't watched it. I keep telling you to watch it. If you get a chance, Altered Carbon.
Okay.
Very good season.
Altered
Carbon.
On,
it's a
Netflix.
Oh. Pretty darn good.
If you guys have HBO now, there's the Chernobyl show that's going on right now.
Is that good?
It's really good.
Is it?
The only problem that you're gonna at first it's gonna take a while for you to get over is the fact that it's supposed to take place in Russia, but everyone's British. So it's just like British people.
The Sean Connery and Hunt for Red October.
It's British people, but they keep saying Russian names, so it's like. Oh, okay.
So is it like the first Star Wars series where the British people were the bad guys, but now they're the good guys?
This is just like a mini series. Yeah, that's what, it's just a mini series that apparently is based on what happened, and you're just like, wow, Russia sucked. Like, no wonder they're all a bunch of freaks now.
I actually got to see a bunch of classified materials on Chernobyl because I was in the Marine Corps.
Remember,
at the time.
You're being recorded right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to say what it was, but I actually got to see some pretty cool stuff.
Are they still classified?
Matt, hurry up! Stop it. We got to know.
I'll cut it if he says.
Hey, who's knocking at your door downstairs, Matt?
Oh, that was quick.
Well, maybe next time on Pop
They
Culture.
got me on speed dial.
Oh, jeez. My name's Edward, not Ryan.
Maybe next time on Pop Culture Unboxing, we'll have my dad on, and he'll spill all the secrets on Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No secrets. It's just stuff that we got from the Russian military on what they were doing when they went to try to clean it up. It's pretty sad, actually.
Boring stuff, or you mean like people dying?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
unfortunately,
on that note,
it has been an hour.
we
only talked about one thing on the list.
But you got the first item.
I know we did a good job. We really talked about that first thing.
It's kind of funny. I was enjoying watching you squirm there a little bit.
I just kept looking. I was like, I don't know if there's even like a point of me putting any of this stuff in, because I had like a bunch of movies and television stuff.
Well, it should all.
Whatever. We'll talk about the next episode. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it should all track till the next episode, and plus, Dad wouldn't have much input on like Epic Games Store.
I would.
That's fine. Yeah,
but we are gonna have a lot to say about that next week.
Yeah, that's totally fine. yeah, there's new news that came out anyway, and I can put it into it. So,
All right. Next week it is.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for inviting
Like,
me, guys.
please do this
I
again.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is probably like the funnest episode we've had in a long time because we didn't stop talking. We
Yeah.
just kept going on random tangents. I liked
Yeah,
it. That was really
it was a
fun.
good time.
Give
Thanks,
the,
Dad.
Give the editor some work.
Yeah. It's
But-
not like it's not like
okay.
I
But
don't
I
have time.
only swore once.
No,
You
you
did.
didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh wait,
Yeah, I did. I said the F word.
you said it once.
It accidentally
I caught it.
slipped.
Oh, I didn't catch it.
Oh,
I was
well.
going to say we did the whole
no,
thing. Woo!
he did it.
Oh, I should not say anything then. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my only request is, can you, instead of beeping things, can you put like a dolphin noise?
Yes. Please.
Wait, hold on. I'll tell
we
you,
have a
I
giraffe
won't-
noise instead?
I won't, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to do it. Is because Jake Paul uses that to censor stuff.
Oh, do they? All right.
Then let's do a different animal. Let's do a cheetah.
All right, we'll workshop it.
Okay.
What about a dove crying?
All right, say something.
Dove cry.
Say
Let's just do a baby womp.
you know I'm gonna like replace some words you guys are saying with those sensors, right? The different sounds.
Well, now you told everyone.
Truck backfiring. Or,
Yeah.
Oh, what's some good ones? Just
All right, we gotta end this.
maybe a wolf
How about
howl.
a, I've got some laser blast.
There we go. Let's do
Okay.
lightsaber noises.
Well, if you guys want to hear more lightsaber
no,
noises
let's just
from
do
us,
the Luke.
go ahead
No!
and check us out on www.popcultureunboxing. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All of those are at Pop Culture Unboxing.
Our Instagram is now officially a business Instagram, so now
Hey, nice.
so we are official. We're official everywhere.
Yeah, and
We're real. We're real.
And
I'm
while
a
we're being
real
official, make
boy.
sure to leave us reviews on iTunes. Those help us out a lot. Give us 5 stars. And have a good day, people.
Yeah, it's really hot in here.
It is.
I need to get out of this room.
Because it
before
was
I-
exciting. We were talking movies.
Yeah.
What else is there to talk
Thrilling.
about, really?
Bye, guys.
Oh, bye.
Bye.